everybody, Papa Blue Shirt. We're gonna ride something special today. Check it out. We're riding the Philodo H8 today. It's kind of a long story. I'll tell you about it here in a minute. Today we are going to change my broken spoke on my Philodo H8. And why we got it off, I'm gonna grease the motor. So this should be interesting. I haven't greased my motor. I have over 14,000 miles on it, so we're gonna open it up and see what it looks like inside. And yeah, there's some who say you should grease your motors every 1,000 miles. I think that's way too much. I would say probably every 5,000-6,000 you'd probably be okay, but we'll see what it looks like inside there, and then we'll make a determination if we need to be doing it a little more often than what we are. Alrighty, let's get going on this. Well, I tested these out just by going like this, and another one broke here. So looks like we're gonna have to change a couple of them. There's one. And this one, I took off my Eco Trick, so I'm gonna take that one off too. So let's get these off of there. All right, I'm just gonna let all the air out. I shouldn't have to remove the tire or nothing. I should be able to squeeze in here and replace them just by pulling it up to the side. Let's do this one. Do this one since we're on this side. All right, and I'm paying attention. You can see there's a little bit of black paint missing there, so that means this one was underneath hitting this one. So that's what we'll do with this one too. Yep, looks like this right one. I ordered a bunch of them on Amazon trying to figure out the right size, and just had time. It would help if I was in the position so you can see it, right? You can see it's got this little protector here. You just peel this back, and then you can take out the other nipple and put your new one in. That's what I'm gonna do. If I can get in a position here to see here. All right. So we'll take this old one out. And I'll put this new one in. I'm just gonna leave it just barely on there because we gotta get this one to go in there. All right, I got a little spoke tool set on Amazon. All right. Then I got a spoke tension meter here, just an El Cheapo one. You don't need nothing real fancy. Just something so you can tell what the tension is. 25. I believe that's what these were. 25. Let's see what this one is. Yeah, I'm pretty close to it already. Yep. Looks like we're pretty close. Once I get it all aired up and stuff, I can come back and check all these. Yep, I think that'll do it for that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do these other ones on time lapse, and then we'll get them all together. Then when you're done, just make sure that this thing comes back over, this protector comes back over top of that. That keeps the nipples from damaging the tube. And so that'll protect it. So I'm gonna put some air in it, and you can see, I mean, if you don't have a tensioner, you can just tighten it up and then try to listen to it by the sound, but I think it's better to have a tensioner so they're all pretty close. So let's go ahead and put some air in the tire and see what we got. All right, I got everything in place, and I put like 10 pounds in there just to hold everything together while I'm gonna take apart the motor here. Look at these Heballscapes. They got 5,000 miles on it. Still look really good. Really good. So if you're interested in some good tires that last a long time, I think I can get 10,000 miles out of these. I used to only get like 5,000 out of the knobby tires, and on my jumbo I got 2,800 on my last set, on the original set that I got with it, and so we're racking up some miles on that now, but these got like 5,000 or 6,000 miles on them, so they really look good yet. But let's see if we can get this off here. All we got to do is take these screws out here, and we'll slide that out, and we'll see what it looks like. Well, there's what it looks like in there after 14,400 miles or something like that. Got a little bit of grease left in there, but it is looking pretty dry. So I'll wipe that all down. All right, well, I got it off there, and I thought I felt a slip. You can see it. The gears are missing right there. I did find the pieces here. So I'm gonna have to order some and get those here so I can replace them. So I'll pick it up when I get them in, I guess. All right, well, I finally got in the part. It took over a month to arrive, so I'm gonna see if I can find a local source for this part, so don't have to wait so long next time. But let's see if we can get this on there. Alrighty, well, it was kind of hot in here, so I just did it on a time lapse for you. With grease in the hub gears, you don't want to put too much on because you don't want it to flow out and get in the motor. You just want to make sure it's coated real good, and that's what I did. I used the Teflon lubricant, which was what was on there to begin with, so it should be okay. And so let's go out there and see if we can get this wheel back installed and see how it works. And as you saw, I put some Loctite on there. Show you what I got here. This is the type of Loctite I used, and so it's a medium strength, so it'll keep those screws from backing out, and it'll keep them in there, but it won't be real hard to get off when I want to take it off next time. So let's get this thing back installed and see what it does. Well, there it is. I decided to change the brakes while I was at it, which reminds me, I didn't bend over this thing here. If I'd have known how much of a deal it would have been, I wouldn't have done it. But I got her done. Yep, there it is. So, let's go take it for a ride and see what it does. But there's the miles. Where we're at here. This is the setup here. It seems weird, all this space here. I may need to put a battery there or something. But yeah, so let's get going here, and I'll talk to you about what happened in a second here. All right, well, I finally opened my hub motor after 14,189 miles or something like that. And because I was going to grease it. And when I went to grease it, I noticed that two or three teeth were missing. So I thought, well, I need to order some. So I ordered some off of Amazon, and they were completely the wrong size. I kind of assumed that, you know, they were pretty standard, but they weren't. So I decided to order from Philodo. Well, you know, if you order, most stuff comes from China, so it took over a month to get here. Yesterday I was so excited, I was putting it on there and I was going to get it all on film for everybody, and I put it on there and it doesn't work. My motor just kind of spin a little bit and didn't have much power at all. And so I took it off and tried to figure out what was going on, put it back on again, took it off, put it back on, took it off, put it back on. I couldn't get it to work, so during the process of doing my research on it, I figured out that a lot of people say, you know, you can ride them with a few teeth missing here or there, it ain't gonna matter. So I thought, well, I'll put it back on and I'll see if it works with the original back on, and it did. So today I'm out testing it just to see what it's like. And one thing, I'm not used to riding this bike anymore. Put the handlebar riser on my other bike in. So this one, it seems like I'm reaching way down to the ground. I have to figure out the exact seat height I need here. I don't want to mess up my back again. But anyways, that's what we're doing. So I pretty much, you know, I contacted Philodo. I haven't heard back from them yet to see what they say about it. But I guess I'm going to try to get this to 15,000. Oh, look at there. I guess I'm going to try to get this to 15,000 with the old gears while I try to figure out what to do. So that's the plan. I just greased it up really good, and hopefully, you know, if you remember a while back, I thought my motor was going bad. It made a weird noise, and I did a video on it, and I put probably 1,000 miles on since then. But that's what happened, that gear, a couple of gears broke off in there, and that's what was making the noise. So my phone was full, so I had to empty it. I hate that. Trying to empty it out on the road. I need to empty it at home. I need to do that tonight. It's like the third day it's happened to me. Anyways, so we're going to try to get this to 15,000, and hopefully by the time I get there, I'll have figured out what the problem is here, and I can put a new gear on. They sent me the whole clutch and everything. I ordered it, said it was only 3 gears, and they sent me the whole clutch and everything. I thought, well, that's really nice. I could just put the whole thing on there, but for some reason it didn't work. So we will look for some gears and see what Philodo has to say, and yeah. But while I had that tire off, I took the flat out. You know, these thick Heb all-scape tires and the flat out I put way too much flat out in it, and it was really heavy to turn, so that's probably the reason I broke my gear. So I'm gonna pull that out. I'm probably gonna pull it out of the front one too. These tires are thick enough you shouldn't have to worry about, you know, most things on the road. And then I get my speed back too. Well, we're not gonna do too many miles today. I'm just out here trying to figure it out, make sure everything's okay, make sure it's something I can ride, and don't want to get too far from home in case my wife has to come and get me. Cranks on this are 155 versus the 140s, and boy, I can really tell the difference. Really tell the difference. Not to mention I have to bend over a lot more because I don't have the handlebar riser on here. Yeah, while I had it off, I thought, well, I might as well check the brakes, and the brakes were pretty low, so it's the first time I changed the brakes. Changed the back ones. 14,000 miles on them, that's not too shabby. All right, well, that's where we ended. Not a very long trip, but long enough to see what it's gonna do here. It's not too hot. I realized I only put like 15 pounds of pressure in the rear tire, so I need to air that up so it rolls better. Well, stay tuned. Whenever I get the correct parts, I'm gonna probably switch this over, but until then, I'm gonna ride it every once in a while, add more miles. I want to get both Philodos at 15,000 this year, so that's my goal. Alrighty, this is Papa Blue Shirt. Thanks for riding with me. Goodbye, good luck, and may the good Lord take a liking to you.